get a piece of paper, 20 pieces of spaghetti strands, 2 straws, 2 marshmallows, and 2 paper clips. You have one goal: to build the tallest tower possible in about 25-30 minutes. All right? So I wish you guys good luck, and go for it.
Let me just tell you a little story. A long time ago, I really thought that science was not important. I thought, why do we need science in the school system? I usually fail in science, and it really brought my self-esteem really down. But when I met Mr. VW, wow, everything changed. I started getting A's in science. I started getting involved. I can't describe any words just to say amazing, wow, wonderful. He's such an awesome teacher.
Mr. VW is an excellent candidate for Teacher of the Year because he basically he basically represents Prince George's County Public Schools. He is dedicated, he knows his content, he cares about the children, he coaches basketball, his lessons are always engaging, always interactive, always hands-on, and he has respect from his students and his staff.
Working with Mr. VW is awesome. He started here as a science teacher and then did a year in math with us at the math department, then went back to his first love of science. So he's a real team player. I'm team leader on the team, and if anything you ask him to do, he's like, sure, he'll volunteer. I admire his hands-on. He always does a lot of hands-on activities. I come in here every once in a while if I'm not teaching, and he is, and there's always activity and something going on, and the kids seem to be engaged in learning.
Well, I love to teach, I think, because I could build a relationship with the kids. I think that I am a kid at heart, and so I'm really able to kind of relate to them and kind of I learn a lot from them just as much as I teach them. A good teacher, I think one of the most important qualities of a good teacher is to be personable and relatable. You need to be able to build that relationship so the kids trust you, you trust them, and then they'll be really kind of buy in and engage in your classroom.
We're going to start with activities. The warm-up is going to be 5 sentences with going to and 5 sentences with will. And will in Spanish is that it's the same thing, el futuro. Yo voy a.
Mr. Petone has got a great heart, all right? We know, and the children know, the staff know that he's here about the children, all right? Promoting them as our ESOL students to become solid citizens in a country that's new to them. He's a perfect conduit or bridge to get them ready to become solid citizens in this country. So I think he's just an asset to the student, but the staff.
He's a great teacher, not only because he teaches, because that's our job, but he got the extra mile. He does what he doesn't have to do. He advises students the real life situation. He prepares real activities where the student can communicate and use the language properly.
You know, my career to teaching was not a direct career, a straight career as you call it. I started in the military, then after the military I worked for the government, but then I realized that that was not my passion, so I wanted to get out there and just do something for my community, serve again, that's what I felt. And then I started volunteering, teaching, volunteering at different organizations, teaching English as a second language to adult learners. And the moment I went into that classroom and I saw students learn and looking at me for advice and how they could improve, and just that knowledge would really change their life. That's what made me change my career, and I knew at that moment that I wanted to be a teacher. Being an ESOL teacher just gives me a platform to not only teach my students and give them the power to literacy, the power to knowledge, but the power to be successful in a new country. And it also gives me the platform and the opportunity to go out there and advocate for them. And they're usually students who arrive to this country who need help and deserve help. And I'm in that position where I can actually be the person who changes their life for the better.
I feel like Ms. Williams is a good teacher because the way she can accommodate and adjust her teaching style to different students and how passionate she is. She really cares about what she's doing. Like, for example, when I'm having a bad day, she'll push me aside and say, okay, what's wrong with you, this and that. And, you know, she'll actually care and work hard to make sure that I'm okay, even though it's just math.
Students really wanted to honor her with Teacher of the Year nomination. She is so deserving, she's very engaging, and her contribution to Largo High School is enormous.
It's just an amazing feeling to be honored for something that I love to do. Talking to my students, I always try to meet them where they are and then push them to go further. A lot of students are not comfortable with mathematics, and I understand that, but I always want them to see success. My number one advice to teachers is to know your students. Once you know them on a personal level, they feel more connected to you, and they will buy into anything that you're selling.
Words, good job. In your own words.
Mrs. Myers is a great candidate for Teacher of the Year because she gets it. She gets that teaching children is about making sure that your culture in your classroom is right first.
Working with Ms. Myers is just truly a gift every day. It's wonderful working with a colleague who shares as much enthusiasm for education and learning as I do.
When a student learns something for the first time, it makes me feel ecstatic as a teacher. All the hard work in lesson planning, developing, thinking about them along the way makes you feel like all the work was worth it because what we do is for them.
She tells us to ask questions, and she wants us to do good, and she wants us to ask questions, so she knows that we understand what we're doing.
Not everyone can teach when you think about the craft because it takes the work, the practice, the time, the energy to learn how to educate others. Being nominated is an honor and reward in itself because it says to me that if others think that I am worth this nomination, then that is confirmation to me that my work is impacting others.
Ms. Love is a dedicated and awesome teacher that the students all love. They love her in pre-K all the way up through 6th grade.
She is a natural born teacher, I believe. It's just in her. She still studies and she refines her work over and over. She continues to learn more and more and figure out different ways to be better every year.
She's always there with a smiling face saying good morning or happy day or something like that. So she's just a positive role model for everybody in the school.
I love to teach because I love learning. We are serving the youngest learners of PG County, the youngest scholars, and so our responsibility is really critical in building the foundational skills for them to be school ready.
She's always there to help, and she's a leader. Our staff is always there for her, and she's always there for the staff.
Ms. Love is a great, great, great teacher.